When I first started as an instructor, my students hated me. They listened to me because I was loud and I was fierce. I hated that, but I believe that was the only way to get things done. Fast forward to today, they love me as an instructor, we show each other mutual respect, and I get more things done with less effort. These are the 4 lessons that I've learned over the years that changed the way I view education. Hi everyone, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Edwin. Having worked with over 1,000 students to find their potential and coaching dozens of instructors to enhance their expertise, I want to help you overcome your difficulties and connect with your students again. And for my subscribers, welcome back. The first thing is to make sure that we don't see them as obstacles. Oftentimes when we take students, we have a certain expectation of the result. And when the students don't cooperate with us, we see them as obstacles, which results in a lot of friction. You have to understand what is the reason that you're taking them as students in the first place. If your goal is to help them, they are not the obstacle. It is not the learner's fault. It's actually you who is unable to change your learning style to match their needs. So be clear what actually is the problem. Changing your viewpoint will change your relationship with them, but the very next lesson will transform your relationship with them that will enable this first lesson to work. Number 2, trust and respect them. Everyone wants love, wants to be trusted that they can figure it out, that their thoughts and opinions are respected. First, we need to put everyone on the same team. You have to tell every single one of them and make sure that they understand that you and I, we both want this to happen. We both want you to learn and understand everything that I've taught within this class. Let's help out each other. The next thing is to set expectations very clearly. An example would be like, number 1, everyone, there are no stupid questions. If you feel like you have something that you ask that someone's going to laugh at you about, go and ask them. If someone else laughs at you, I'm going to scold them because this is not the space where we ridicule each other and make each other feel that this is not a safe space to learn. Next one, if in this class there's anything that I've said that you don't understand, I want you to listen and write down every question that you have. In between every segment, I'm going to have a Q&A that we are all able to ask questions that we don't understand, and then we'll help each other to understand before we move on to the next thing. If that sounds good to everyone, give me a thumbs up. So that is how I generally structure a class that is able to trust and respect each other. The third lesson is to allow them a safe space to experiment. So let's define what a safe space is first. In my own definition, this is a place where people can be truly themselves without the fear of negative judgment. So as a teacher, how do we create that? I think the first important thing is to stamp out negative behavior. Then the second is to encourage and model positive behaviors. If you have already set the expectation that we don't accept this kind of negative behaviors in the class, and when something happens, you're unable to enforce that, what will happen is that people will trust you lesser. And the next thing is that as someone who's the leader, we need to encourage when people show this kind of positive behaviors, and as well as model all of those positive behaviors. And of course, we aren't perfect. Then what happens if we do something that isn't aligned with what we say? It is important for us to apologize for doing something that is out of alignment. And the next thing to creating a safe space is actually to be competent. People feel safe around a great leader. If you are unable to manage a chaotic class, what will happen is that the good students, they don't trust you anymore. And then the bad students, they don't respect you. So elaborating on that, when you say to the class that I don't accept people who are rude, I don't accept people who bully others, and when there's bullying behavior that comes out, but you do nothing about it, your students will just, oh, okay, whatever that he say is just not true. Therefore, they are less likely or they're less inclined to trust you. And when they do something extreme or they push you beyond the boundary that was set, you need to make sure you take action and make all these consequences very clear at the very start. It's important to empathize with our students, and feeling stupid is one of the reasons why many students stop learning. So you need to help with that. Make them feel safe that they don't understand something. And being good at what we teach is important. Congratulations, you now have the tools to become a safe space for your students. It's increasingly hard to have that in our highly stressful world. And now that they feel safe, you will need the next step to really close the entire loop for them to reach their potential. The last, number 4, is to check for their understanding. So the point of teaching is for our students to understand. When people understand something, they can apply it in many different ways. I want them to think about what is the idea behind the thing I'm teaching them, and not just do a direct one-to-one application, because that will allow for deep understanding. So you raise everyone to the same level and then we can proceed together. So what I often do is my smarter or more competent students, I'll get them to be my teaching assistant. They can be by my side. In those questions earlier, I'll ask them, do you understand this concept? Say yes. I say, okay, good. Next, you're going to come up with these questions. You're going to come with questions to check for everyone's understanding. I want you to use this as a baseline. Think of the questions, let me know, then I'll ask the question. So if you're able to guide them in a way, first they feel happy, because when you're teaching someone of low competence versus high competence, if you teach the low competence way, what you're often going to get is that the people who are high competence, they get bored already. So I'm going to talk about flow state. The basic idea of flow state is that you want to match the challenge of the situation with the competency. When you match these two together, what you're going to get is that people will be adequately challenged, and then they're going to stay engaged for longer. Alright, so let's recap. The 4 lessons are: don't see them as obstacles, trust and respect them, allow them the safe space to experiment, and lastly is to check for understanding. So I have a bonus tip that levels up all the other aspects of the relationship, which is to just be vulnerable. And the way to do this very easily is to just ask for feedback. If you have taught a class, just spend 5 minutes at the end of your class. Just ask, hey, I want everyone to be very honest with me. What is it today that I have done well? So I'll continue to do these things for my other classes. And what are the things that I did that you don't like? I will try my best to do lesser of those so they can have better classes from now on. You can do it anonymously because sometimes people don't like to be upfront. You can get people to write down notes, put it in the box before they leave the class. You can do it even via a QR code where people give feedback. All these methods are possible. You just have to cater it to your own class. Alright, that's the end of the video. And the quote of the day is, in our own lives, let each of us ask, not just what will I gain, but what will I give? By Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a lawyer. If you like more content that helps you become a better facilitator, subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.